Hello and welcome. Brianna Ruelas here, and I'm with my boy Durell Peart from Orlando, Florida. I'm so excited to see you today, and I'm really excited that you're a part of my online course, Performing Artist Pathway. So Durell is an artist manager, he's a speaker, and he also works with artists every single day as a music business consultant. I'm really honored to call you a friend, Durell. I think you're incredible, and I'm so excited that you are here to tell us more about the 3 pillars of fan engagement, which I know we'll get a lot out of. So thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I know we got a chance to connect a few times through Springboard Music Fest, and we've been able to build a great relationship, and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Of course, of course. So we're going to just dive right in. So this is, we talked about this is going to be a big part, a valuable part of the course, because all of these indie artists who are going through the course can understand the value of fan engagement. And we talk about how important it is to really create those relationships and to be in tune with the fact that they're real people, they're humans, they have feelings, they have desires, all of this stuff. So I'm really excited to hear what you have to share with us today.
Okay, cool. So what I really want to talk about was, the 3 pillars of fan engagement, and that's authenticity, consistency, and sustainability. And we're just going to touch quickly on a couple of these topics. And so authenticity is really simple. Let's get right to the point. We live in a day and age now where artists care. They care a lot. Fans care a lot about who you are. Are you real? Can they connect to you? Authenticity is everything. I think we come from the old industry was, especially if you want to be a celebrity, the less they know about me, the better it is, right? But nowadays, if you want to really build a core audience, the more they know about you, the better it is. The more vulnerable you are to them, the better it is. Because guess what? Before you're an artist, you're a human being, first and foremost, right? So they want to feel like they can relate to that. And, I have a really great case study on that is my artist, Xavier Keys, who you happen to know. He just released his mini movie for his next Behind the Album project for Red Wine that's going to be coming out. And he did a whole 20-minute documentary about just the whole process of making the album and each song. And he was vulnerable. He talked about a lot of things that he told me he was afraid to speak about. But what ended up happening was his female fan base really related to it. And he was getting messages about how much they appreciated that he was vulnerable. So authenticity is really where it's at. I love being authentic because people can see right through your BS, man. So just be real.
I love it. Isn't that the truth? And, authenticity is something that I talk a lot about from the very beginning of this course. My welcome video is literally saying, this is about not just the student, the artist being authentic, but this is about me being authentic. So like right now, you and I on this video, we're being as authentic as we possibly can be,
right?
Because ultimately that's how we relate. And right. I really wanted to create an environment within this course that felt very real and authentic and no BS. So I think this really aligns with that message as well. So thank you again for bringing that up.
Oh, no, you're welcome. Because like I said, man, I mean, even when I get on my calls with artists, I want them to know that I'm authentic. Because again, people support people who they know, who they like, who they trust, right? That doesn't change. Whatever industry you're in, that's just the way it is. So, and part of that trust is being authentic. When they know you're genuine, when they know you keep your word, right? Little things like that. So, and then the next thing is consistency, right? You got to be consistent. You gotta show up every single day. You got to do the work. They got to feel like you care about them. You don't want to go, 4, 5, 6 weeks, 8, 10 weeks without speaking to your fans. You want to speak to them every single day. So we have this app. Ryan Leslie created something called Superphone. Are you familiar with Ryan Leslie?
No.
So Ryan Leslie is, I don't know if you remember the girl Cassie. She had a big hit song a few years ago. Anyway, Ryan Leslie is the one that created Cassie. He basically is the whole brainchild behind Cassie. And so Ryan figured out, Ryan was on signed to a major record company. I forgot, I think Universal Republic, I think it was, in 2009, right? So he sold about 160,000 albums. This is in the old music industry. So the next go around, that was actually '07, his first album, he sold 160 something thousand albums, right? So the next go around, he went back to the record company and said, well, he only sold 60,000 albums the next time around. He's like, well, why the heck did we only sell 60,000 albums when we sold 120 the first time, or 180,000 the first time? And so what he figured out was that there's no reason why we should have to go back to get people that we've already got, right? So he ended up going independent in 2010 officially. And in 2013, what he figured out was, if I can thank my fans directly, if I can literally talk to them one-on-one directly and thank them every time they support me, that's going to make a world of difference, right? So he started doing that. He ended up creating this technology that allows you to build an audience through text messaging and through one-on-one fan engagement, a CRM, you know? Right. So, and within that CRM is built what they call never lose touch, you know, where basically you could set it up to where if you have a fan, you know, that's a super fan of yours and you want to talk to them, you know, of course, if you have 5,000 people in your phone, in your contact list, you can't talk to 5,000 people every week. So the phone, the technology, it can be set up to where every few weeks you'll just send out an automated text message. They don't know it's automated. The fan don't know it's automated. I'm kind of telling on the fans don't know it's automated, but you set it up to where you can just say, "Hey, it's such and such. It's how you doing? Just want to say hello," and so they don't feel like you forgot about them, right? Again, consistently showing up, consistently letting them know that you care about them. So consistency is really important, you know.
Artists can check out Superphone.
Superphone, yeah, it's an app. It's in the. I think it's in that. It's in the Apple Store, and I think they get ready to put it in the Android store. I've had it now I've had it for a couple of years myself, and I use it as my contact. So basically, because email marketing is great, you all know, but nothing beats a text message because you have to respond to a text. Email, unless you have really good ad copy, unless you're a really good copywriter, and sometimes people sit, you know, you have to get really good at that type of stuff. But a text message, people they have to react to it, you know, and so it's a lot more engaging. You know, to sell something off of text, it's a lot easier than do it off of email. Even though email still works, so we're not knocking email marketing because it still very much works. But if you're targeting millennials and targeting younger people, they're on their cell phones.
Good point.
They're on their cell phones, so they're not. Most of the young people, they're not checking their emails. They're on apps. They're on social media. They're on TikTok and all that type of stuff going on. So if you can text them, that's the best way to do it. But cool. Consistency is major. And then, you have any questions about that? You want to go to the next one?
No, that's great. Thank you.
And then we have sustainability, and that's just simply what it is. You want to create an infrastructure that allows you to sustain your fan base. You know, have a system in place that allows you to sustain your fan base, so that way you're not having to sit behind a computer, sit behind your phone all day. You have to create a system. I think when you can create a system that allows people to come into your world, come into your sales funnel, and be able to attract them and get them to engage with you, that's what it's going to be about. Those pillars right there in fan engagement. If you can master those three things, you'll build a core. Right? Everything in today's industry is about a core audience. It starts with a core. It starts with a core and ends with a core. I think if you understand core audience, you don't have to appeal to everybody. I think people think they have to appeal to everybody, and you don't. And you're not gonna appeal to everybody. You don't make music for everybody. You know, I know you own a restaurant, right? So, you know, you have the core demographic who you want to show up to your restaurant. Anybody outside of that, hey, you'll take them, but that's not necessarily who you're marketing to.
Sure.
It's kind of the same thing, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So could you give me an example of a type of system that you would put in place when you're saying systems in place for sustainability? Like that's different for every artist, right? But
Yeah,
one example?
I mean, it's different. It could be something for them. It's email marketing, right? So most people aren't going to have super phones. So let's talk about email marketing. So you have an opt-in page on your website. They opt in, and then you do sort of drip feed campaign, right? And everybody gets that same drip feed campaign. So and then they're in your system now. So that you gotta get them from the ocean. I say social media is like the ocean, right? And your cell phone is like the fishing rod. So you gotta be able to get them from outside of the ocean into your boat, and then be able to take it home and clean it up and eventually eat it or whatever you want to do. So in this case, be able to sell to them, right?
And share your music, share your merch, whatever that.
Right. So that could be right. You want to give somebody what we call the freemium model. You give somebody something for free, but it's not really free because you got an email address for it, so they paid for it, right? So they think it's free, but no, they paid for it because that email address is really important because that's how you're going to communicate with them. Because as we all know, social media and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube and all these platforms are great, but if they go down tomorrow, you don't know who any of those people are.
Exactly. So essentially the system in place for sustainability is like the connection point.
Yeah, it's the connection point. It's the connection point, and then you have to have a place to take them, right? You got to have a place to store them. In my case, if I could show you, hold on. So this is, you might not be able to see it, but it's probably not going to show well, but all these people right here, this is a Superphone app. I'm not going to show it to you because you're not going to be able to see it through the Zoom, but I have all my contacts in here and they're all tagged. So essentially, if I wanted to find out who are all the music producers in my phone, I can literally type in music producer and all of them will show up and I can have a conversation with them. And now we build equity with each other. Fan engagement is about building equity on both sides, right? Because you're giving them something of value. You're selling emotion, right? I think artists got to realize that you're getting people to buy into emotion, which is very hard to get them to do. Now, emotion is something that is different for everybody. So don't think that because you have an album of 10 songs and everybody likes all different songs because it evoked a different type of emotion into them. So again, you're not trying to be all things to all people. This is really about finding your message, finding what people really care about and honing in on that.
That's awesome. That's great. So to recap, those 3 pillars of fan engagement are?
Let's see, authenticity, consistency, and sustainability.
Awesome. Man, thank you so much for being here.
I
know that this information is, sometimes people are going to listen to this and think, oh yeah, I've heard that before, but then it goes out one ear or in one ear and out the other. And when we hear this message again, some of it's also going to be totally new and like eye-opening. So when we hear this information, when we hear this message, it reminds us like, oh yeah. Now I remember. Now this is what I need to do. Or it's going to trigger them to think completely different about how they approach their relationship with their fan. And I absolutely love what you said about fan engagement is about building equity and then ultimately building equity with your core audience. Is that how you finish it?
Exactly how I would say it. Equity, right? Yeah. Equity is important because guess what? Later on, that equity, you get to cash in on that equity, right?
That's right.
You get to, because then your fans now, I know we didn't touch on it, but let's say crowdfunding, right? So crowdfunding, even though it's something that has gotten a little bit into trouble with pledge music and stuff like that over the last couple of months or so. But crowdfunding is important because that equity that you built in that relationship with your fans, now they get to be a part of the process. Because your fans are the ones that's supposed to take care of you, supposed to pay for your career, not the record company. Your fans. The record companies put the money up so you can go get the fans. But I think people, I need to get signed. I want to get signed. No, you don't understand what getting signed really means. That's not the conversation for that. But going back to equity, it's just that once you built it up enough equity, you can cash in on that equity. And trust me, when you're able to do that, it makes a big difference.
So great. So I'm going to have your information in our bonus section as well, your contact information and website. But
Okay.
Can you tell us right now how they can get in touch with you so they can either work with you or learn more?
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you guys up first with my personal phone number. This is my personal number that they can reach out to me. Send me a text. I prefer text versus call, and then I'll call you back or text you back. My number is if you are outside of the country, it's a +1, right? Country code for United States, 407-326-2352. That's my personal number. I will respond if you send me a text. Okay. As far as my email, it's going to be Durell@nnmanagementgroup.com, nnmanagementgroup.com, or you can also send me an email at Durell@DurellPeart.com. So either one of those emails will work. As far as social media goes, I'm on every social platform at Durell Peart. Real simple.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I'll include all of that in our bonuses as well. So
awesome.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again for being here. This was awesome. And I'm excited to continue working with you and continue collaborating together. And just wanted to say thank you one more time.
Thank you so much. I look forward to, touching more on this later. Anytime you want to have me back, please let me know. It's my pleasure. And I enjoy, having our relationship and building with each other. So thank you once again.
Absolutely.